We are live at the 2017 Canadian Junior Championships. I'm Jake Shuknick, joined again by Terry O'Neill. How are you doing now, Terry?
Great. Good afternoon, everybody.
We have the boys' final going on in front of us here. We have Carter Watson from Saskatchewan against Owen Kirby from Ontario playing in the final. And two doors down, we have the bronze medal match going on between Braden Campbell of Nova Scotia and Trevor Burrell of BC. In the semi-final earlier, Owen upset the two-time defending champion Braden Campbell to get to the final. Meanwhile, Carter Watson just squeaked by Trevor, handing Trevor his first loss of the tournament.
That was a great game. They were just back and forth the whole game. It was the longest match of that section. And a very well played game.
It's hard to believe that Trevor's only been playing for, I think, 2 years. And he's already in the bronze medal match.
Yep, he's gonna be a hot property in a few years. He's a very good player right now. And has a real enthusiasm for the game. And he just delivered a toucher to hold one for sure. Mary Cook's putting a toucher on it.
So it might be a little tricky to tell colors here, but Owen has the sort of lime green bowls. Meanwhile, Carter has the, I don't know if I'd call that a dirty yellow in his hand.
I don't know how you describe that green.
It's a yellowy green speckled with black.
Just in, one out.
Owen's chasing this down. He must like it. I think he's got the jack. Yeah, just a little kiss.
Oh, for three.
Could be good for three. Carter slowly sauntering after this one. He's got his eye on it. It could be in the neighborhood. Squeaks by, and what a beautiful bowl that is.
Oh, first shot.
Waiting for that to fall over for a definite one for Carter right now, with one bowl each to come.
I guess Owen would pretty much, I don't know if he'd play the other hand. I would think that if he pushes that out cleanly, he'd be all set.
Yeah, he's sticking with the same hand, though.
If he comes to the face of his bowl, he'll get it.
It's dying in a hurry, though. Needs
Short.
another foot.
Foot and a half.
That's some great bowls from Owen, though. All four of those are.
Oh yeah,
tight.
Look at that head for the first end. It's pretty close.
You can tell they've been playing for 3 days. I think Carter's had the longest days of all. Last night he was playing until, I think, 9:15 before that round finished, and then had a tiebreaker this morning as well.
Wow. And then he played the last game off the green in the last round.
Yeah.
He's had a chat with his brother. Been doing that on a regular basis. Get a drink. Check out his strategy.
Hand must be pretty sweaty here as he's wiped it off twice. It is quite warm out there.
Decent weight.
He's turned his back on it already and picking up the mat. He didn't like it. So I believe that'll be one for Carter to start. But
One it is.
yeah, one for Carter. As always, if you want to get in touch with us, reach out to us on Facebook or Twitter at BCB Official on Facebook, at BCB Bowls on Twitter. And you can heckle Daryl on Twitter as well at Canadian Bowler.
And the bronze medal match, they've got 2 ends played already. And it's 1-1.
Bit of a shorter jack here. Hard to believe that the junior championships are coming to a close here. This is the last round of the final and bronze medal match. After this, we've got the Forster-Lang pairs tomorrow, which we won't be streaming, but then we'll start the under-25 tournament on Saturday morning, bright and early. Good pull there from Owen, just a little narrow. I think Carter's just through the head on that. He's got matching bowls 2 feet short and 2 feet through. I think Owen's well clear. Owen is holding 1. Any early predictions for this game there, Terry?
By what I saw of Owen earlier in his game, semifinal game, I mean he was rocking it pretty good. So I kind of favored him just on the overall draw of it, but Carter has, I don't know how many bowls that his last bowl that he saved shots with, he cut down the counter. He's playing under control, you know, he's playing at his pace. So it's kind of a see what one affects the other.
Mm-hmm. The tough thing with always making conversions on your 4th shot is that if you ever miss, it's only 1 bowl. Whereas if you can play steady bowls throughout, you can miss here and there, and it's not as big a deal.
Owen holding 1, drawing for 2,
and that
and
should
that
be shot
would
itself.
work.
Beautiful bowl there from Owen.
He only asked if he was shot. He didn't ask if he was 2, so maybe he does have the second also.
Carter held up 3, I think.
Yep, so he must have been holding 2 at the time. And then drew in the 3rd.
So that'll make it 3-1 for Owen then.
Yep.
We got a question from Coach here for us. Do you prefer carpet or grass, and why?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I I like good grass and fast carpet. I don't like anything 10 or under seconds.
Mm-hmm.
16 and a half, I'm still comfortable. After that, you'd have to play on it a lot
Yeah, to get
to
really
be
get
able
used
to
it.
really get.
Yeah. That's an interesting question. I guess I'd say based on my experience in Canada, I would probably prefer carpet just because it tends to be faster than most of the greens in Ontario that I've played on. But that being said, if I could consistently play on quicker grass greens, I would definitely pick grass 9 times out of 10.
Yeah,
But
I do like the artificial because I can play on this artificial January if there's no frost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I certainly, in the generally now the greenskeepers in Canada do a really good job and work very hard to get the greens ready. But there are years where they're not ready until 1st of July.
Yep. Yeah.
And that leaves you, most of the competition is over by then.
Looks to be a bit of a dive off there as Owen's ball's still coming across.
Carter's holding one.
He's asking questions as he's wont to do. Yeah, I don't know. The tricky thing sometimes is that you can get on some pretty bad carpets as well with wonky lines here and there or running seams.
Oh yeah, no question. That can happen a lot. But the carpets are only as good as their underlay because they're reflecting what they cover. So if you try to do it on the cheap and fortuitous rub,
fortuitous indeed.
If you try and do it on the cheap, that's what you're going to end up with.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really do the underneath part well,
Great response there from Carter.
then your surface will reflect that. I mean, these carpets are all good. They're all good. They stand to the weather and they're a good product. But
that can sometimes really be a tricky thing in Canada with such drastic climate, but how your carpet's going to withstand it. Owen's playing just through.
oh, he picked
Got
it
the
up
ball clean.
nicely.
What a big ball there from Owen. Next door, Trevor's got up to a 2-1 lead over Braden.
They've had some very nice heads over there. Carter's going to have another little... Oh, he rubbed it off and then I think stayed with it.
Trevor's been playing deadly all week.
So are you going over? So did you want company or are you good?
Carter had a quick chat with his brother Brandon there as his coach. Both Brandon and Carter will be competing in the under-25 portion on Saturday.
And they're in opposite sections, aren't they?
I believe they are.
Snap the jack back, went through it.
Jack
For one.
For one.
That'll make it 3-2.
Carter's going to take a look first, but yeah, just the one. I believe this might be Carter's last year playing in the under-18s, as next year he'll be forced up into the under-25 portion.
Yes. Yeah, well, yeah, that's for me.
So then so ends the opportunity for
I just got started.
people to play in both.
That's
in
right.
That, in that certain age,
That's
age
right.
hangover spot.
There's been a funny gap for a couple of years where you could play in both for a year or two, but that'll disappear starting next year with some very eloquent wording of what the age deadlines are, completely dependent upon the World Youth Championships. Essentially, if you can play in the World Youth Championships, then you're in the under-25 bracket. If not, then you're in the under-18 bracket.
You got a long jack for this end.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many of these T to Ts, but Carter apparently likes it. And the
Oh.
flop behind. Oh,
I'd say.
that's going to be tough to beat.
He's up to it.
He's definitely up to it, and he's not far away. Oh, beauty bowl there from Owen.
Oh. What an effort.
Bit of an unfortunate result that it looks like he almost just sort of pushed the bowl around back with it as well. Didn't get much separation from it. Now we'll see if you can really replicate that same bowl twice.
That's the key.
It's the key to the game. Repeat, repeat, repeat. I think he got a little too eager on that one. Just sticking around.
Bowl almost looks like it's floating. He's
Beautiful bowl from Owen. Wow.
just a nudge on the jack first.
Two deadly shots. I think Carter might chase this down. Just need to nudge Owen or the jack. Big finish out of that, and not quite enough. And look at that flop against the bias. Owen wants to know if he's holding one, and yes, he is. It's a really tough shot here. What do you do if you're Owen right now? Your bowl is sandwiched in there.
Well, you can't. You can't concede your two bowls, which you'd like to do because you don't want to mess with that. There's no chance of. It's just a matter of protection.
Well, he played right up into it. That's a pretty good looking head.
Now he might even have the opportunity to squeeze something out of that.
I actually think if he drove at his front bowl, he could get both of Carter's to go.
Exactly.
Not a whole lot of danger there for Owen, but for Carter, that's going to be a tricky shot to play. Because any action on Owens is just going to push your back bowl out. Do you think he'll play the other hand? Maybe come into the jack that way, squirt it back?
Well, he's got a one back on the rail.
If I were Carter, I think
Might
that's
be
what I
worth
might
it.
do.
If
Yeah.
he got it in the crutch.
But he's not.
No, he's not playing that side.
Still playing his forehand.
He's trying to get some action on the.
I think he's just a shade wide. Yeah.
Ooh, I think he might have knocked him in for another one.
That could be too. I'm not sure what Owen was looking at there. He just lined his foot up on his other bowl.
Yeah. It's only one to come.
Good hustle there from Owen as he's sprinting down the green.
Sometimes that's good to do just to get a little energy off.
Yeah.
He likes to play at I think a little higher pace than Carter.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's his way of burning off a little energy. Draw that hole, it'll be a dynamite shot.
Well, you're certainly trying for it.
Good effort.
Not sure if that's one or two there. I think
One.
Carter just likes the one. Owen's going to come down and maybe put a measure to it. No, just one.
One it is.
That makes it 4-2. Next door, Trevor Burrell's up 4-1 over Braden Campbell. And if you're in the BC area in a couple weeks, August 14 to 19 is the majors, the Canadian Lawn Bowling Championships. We'll be on site again to stream, and we'll also be selling some of our clothing, so swing on by the booth for some t-shirts, sweaters, jackets, hats, whatever else we'll be bringing with us.
A little shorter jack this time.
Seem to have phased Owen a little bit as he's a couple yards through.
Carter's got a nice draw here.
And Carter figured out the weight quick. Beauty bowl. Makes it tough on Owen to try to draw around, but
This is close too.
he's corrected his weight nicely.
Ooh.
Got a toucher out of it, but
Yeah.
Carter's still holding one. From Carter, I'm thinking I'm probably going to draw around to Owen's back bowl there, just behind. Definitely don't want to make a bigger target. He's into it. It's a good place to be.
Owen doesn't waste a lot of time on the mat.
No, he's very quick. And I recognize that look on his face right now. He is in the zone. The way he chased that bull down and kept his arm out, you can see that he's feeling it.
Oh yeah. He's getting his pace. And
Carter's got that same look. Just missed.
and the points he's Owen's making are really good points.
Yeah,
You
they're
know,
not gimmies.
they're not 6 foot measures by any means. They're all ticks and wicks and touches.
Yeah, the first tournament I played in at Boba, we got on a pretty tricky rink, and closest bowl was 7 feet away. And I was thinking, my goodness, am I that bad, or is this rink that bad?
He's good again.
Owen capitalizing on those bowls. We were talking about that earlier. It's the fourth bowl that can sometimes be the hardest.
So he's got to play the backhand here.
I would think so, but you never know. You never know.
Guess we can't quite see what that looks like on the mat.
Could
Have another
push some
chat
of
with brother.
Owen's bowls through and stay. Could try to just draw that off clean.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a wall there to draw into the shot ball or the
Mm-hmm.
second ball to cut it down.
Yeah, he is playing his backhand.
Yep. He's got lots of pace.
Yeah, he's definitely not short on this, but I think it'll just hang out
And
wide.
just a hair wide.
Once you add that bit of
Have lots
pace,
of weight.
it'll just hang out. Looks like 3 to me. Big thanks to our sponsors and partners, the Government of Canada through Sport Canada, the Coaching Association of Canada, Kukri, our official clothing supplier, MVP Sports, longtime supporter of the junior program, along with Henry Lang and Irene Forster, who have supported the junior program for many years, and lawnbowlingmanager.com.
You have that imprinted on your
Spent many
inside of your glasses. Or?
spent many a time rehearsing that before we got out here, just to make sure I didn't forget anybody.
That's a good plan. All the good people that make it happen. I like Owen's delivery. He really keeps down and finishes it. You know, he's never bailing out. It's always a good forward motion.
Yeah, he put that bowl to be within a couple inches, so. Carter might be getting ready, putting that bull behind. See if Owen can tuck the jack behind a little bit. A little short, but not a bad pull.
He's getting in the zone now, I think.
I think Carter's still trying to play just through the head to just move the
More
bull or the
aggressive.
jack. Yeah, but just wide again. Just a couple yards through to change it up. And I think Owen's going to chase this down. He's still coming up a little bit shorter yet. But that
Not a bad cover. He's forcing
that'll force Carter onto his
Carter onto the other hand.
backhand there, yeah. We'll see what he can make happen with this. I think he's fixed his weight a little bit. He's taken off quite a bit, but maybe too much. That might be third.
Just a little push onto his own bowl and would split that on nicely.
Mm-hmm. Crash on his own, or is he by?
Oh, he's by. Nice bowl.
The way he was swinging his hand there, I think he wanted to get a back bowl though to try to get between Carter's. So I don't think that's what he wanted.
Now, how does Carter
Attack this? I would have to think that probably looks like a good port between Carter's bowl and Owen's bowl at the front there.
on the backhand?
That looks like that could go straight in. Any jack movement, and Carter's in a better position than he is now.
That's for sure. He might even get something out of this if he moved it back far enough.
It looks like a big enough target that I would probably be willing to throw weight at that, because no matter which one of Owen's bowls you hit and move, you're probably not going to be worse off than you are right now.
You go backhand or forehand?
I would probably play my backhand.
Is that because you favor your backhand or because the shot looks like it needs a backhand?
I don't know if I favor either of my hands when I throw a drive. I don't think it really matters to me which hand I'm playing. You?
I like the look of the backhand,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't have to have that big a port. You know, if it's 6 or 8 inches, I think I can. I feel like I could hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't necessarily hit it all the time, obviously, but
No, the confidence to feel like you can hit it though is probably the most important part.
yeah. I think maybe I overthrow my forehand or whatever. I have a tendency to do that. It looks like he's doing exactly that.
Yeah, he's playing his backhand, looking for that port. Well, that could do it.
Trip to jack. Cut it to 1 for sure.
Yeah. If it's still in play, it's just 1. If it's on the tee, it's just 1. That was a good connection there.
1 it is.
7-3 for Owen. my apologies. It's 8-2. I added that to the wrong side.
I didn't measure that.
And Trevor's up 5-2 in the bronze medal game.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like he's
holding one or two.
yeah, holding two right now. He's all over it again.
I saw those tries. Y'all just that big of a backswing. I guess so. I don't know.
Looking at body language right now on rink 4 in the bronze medal match, Braden looked so defeated after throwing that last bowl.
He's a quick bounce back though.
Is he?
Yeah, he can really shake that. It's not gonna bother him for a long time. He'll just make the correction, find out what the situation is.
Owen was long, but Carter was longer. Looks like they both wanted a longer jack there.
You got to be quick on the camera shift with Owen on the mat because
He's so quick. Well,
done.
it was his game against Braden that we were looking at earlier this morning. There was only 4 seconds after the bowl came to a stop that he was already delivering.
We'll see what happens with this one.
Carter is pretty consistent there. Took off a couple feet, but still through.
He's 4 seconds again.
Don't think he likes this one. He's chasing it down, but I don't think he likes it.
He's got great weight. He just didn't like the line.
Weight's great.
Sometimes maybe it's a good idea not to have your lines.
Mm-hmm.
Just spread it out, like holes for bowls, like we talked about.
Yeah, holes for bowls. Carter's taken off a lot more on this one. That could be second shot, maybe. Don't think that's good enough for first.
Little drag.
Yeah, Owen doesn't need to change much. Just needs to grab the jack on his way by to scoop up 4.
He almost makes 4 seconds when he's standing at the other end.
Well, he's hit a pretty good growth spurt. That'll be
That's a counter.
that'll be a counter, I think.
He's kind of in the path there. Makes it a little more difficult for Carter to get it back unless he plays backhand through the front port.
Now, playing this way as the sun is setting, do you think the sun's going to get in your eyes at any point?
It's what?
Will the sun get in their eyes at any point as they're playing this way?
No, generally they've got caps on, and when they get down into their crouch, it won't bother them. It's still quite high in the sky. If you didn't have a hat on, it would certainly bother you for sure. Brand's going to have a chat about this one.
I think that might be part of their plan, is to see if they can throw Owen off his groove by stretching it out.
Well, the last game in the semifinal, he was talking to him every bowl virtually.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they want to do. That's the plan. Stick with it and see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
If it bothers the other player, that's
A
on
bonus.
them.
Yeah.
He's playing the forehand.
Just not quite there. So that could be another 1 or 2 for
I
Owen.
think it's just 2.
He's kicked out 1, he's kicked out 2. Having a look, but I think that's it. Gonna ask for a tape. Umpire's quick to have one. That didn't look like a very straight measure, but quickly corrected.
Yeah, you prefer a steel measure or a string measure?
String. I like string so much better than steel. You?
Well, some people have those string measures with a little bit of elastic in them, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch those ones. The steel ones are. I didn't see that. Was that 3 or
I didn't quite see that either.
2?
I guess I've seen too many old steel type that tend to bend or sway
Yes,
or whatever
yes.
either. So there's.
And that is a good point. It does. So it was 2.
But yeah, no, string
That
can.
you
stretch a
can
bit.
see when the string is taut. You know, you can see that it's. You can't make a little warble or a
Mhm.
bend, right?
Well, each has their pros and cons, and I guess each person probably has their preference. But as much as I do like strings, I find that they break quicker. If you snap them back too quick and come flying off.
You looking at that?
I say his mat's on the tee, so that
Yeah,
can't. As long as
it's
it's
over.
past the jack, it can't be that short.
Over quite a ways.
Probably the loosest bowl I've seen Owen throw in a few ends.
He's kicking himself in the face. Saying, "What are you doing?"
I tend to think that the first bowl is the worst time to throw a loose bowl like that. I love to have that first one locked in. If it's my second one that's loose, then so be it. But
No question, because it's something you're trained to do, is to repeat the bowl. You don't want to repeat the shitty one.
yeah, that's true. I just like how it sets the tone for the end. It forces the other player under pressure before they even get to throw their bowl. Whereas if it's my second one that's iffy, then so be it. Came up far short on that.
Left that one in the garage. Explain that. You can get around that. It must be right on the center line.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of room to get around it, but it might have been in Owen's eye. 'Cause he didn't get by much, but
Now
great
that,
shot. Great shot.
That is a killer. There's the reply.
He's close. Got the
Yeah,
jack.
he did.
I think he stayed with it enough to lie one right now.
Holden shot.
Owen's looking at it, but I think it's a little wide. Might be good for one if it falls over.
Little sneeze.
There it is.
There it is. That's the kind of replies you got to make if you're going to keep your lead.
Mm-hmm. Is it ever? Owen, of course, played at the North American Challenge last fall as well, so he is well used to playing on carpet. He's well used to playing against tough opposition. Carter's going to go back and have a chat with Brandon. I think it's probably just a draw on your forehand here if you come down inside of Owen's bowl. Basically just like Owen just threw, I would think. Or are you thinking try to find a port there? And
No, I think he's got to follow him down. I think.
because he wouldn't really need to change much off his last bowl, the way he came through there with the jack, and just roll his over once.
He's playing the forehand. Looks like it's. I thought at first it was push weight, but
Looks to be like draw weight here, but I think
For
he should
sure.
crash. No, just through.
wow,
Beauty bowl.
that should be shot.
These are some great answers here. these two.
Shot.
Braden cleaned house over there.
To lie two, just threw a drive, took out two of Trevor's bowls. Trevor's up 10-2 right now, identical score. Definitely some friendship on the green there. Trevor and Braden had a quick laugh as they passed by.
They're having fun out there.
It's good to see.
They're both disappointed they didn't get into the gold medal game, but they're
Still having a good time on the green.
can still appreciate a good shot.
Just one.
And it is. Now, Brandon's got a job for 3. Get him back in the game. Sorry, Braden. Did I say Brendan?
Yeah, I think you did. But Braden, yeah, on rank 4 there in the bronze.
He'll shoot me.
We'll see what he can do after a drive and now a draw.
He's pretty adept at it, actually.
Well, it looks to be in the neighborhood. Doesn't have to be overly close either, though.
Yeah, no, he's got good skills.
Picked up 3 there to make it 10-5 now for Trevor.
Kind of a medium jack.
Yep. Yeah. We'll see if Owen's still feeling it. Zoned in. Couple of yards through.
I don't know if he's thinking of that purposely, of putting the first one through, but that's not a bad play when you're up 11-2 and you kind of secure that back and take away the chances that the other guy might have.
Definitely would rather see it 2 yards through than 2 yards short. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
We'll see if he can adjust here. I think he has taken off a little bit. It's better weight, just a fair bit narrow.
Good receiving position.
Carter was quick on the mat after that.
He was that time. That's because he was holding. Just touch the jack. It's still down 1, holding 2 and 3.
Carter wants to know how far through.
Pardon me?
Carter's asking how far through his last bowl
Yeah.
was. And it's 3 or 4 feet, yeah. He's walking after this one, but I don't think he's there. That looks a little short to me. About a yard.
That is a very practiced skill to leave the mat with the delivery. You don't wait 2 or 3 seconds. Complete your follow through. You lose that momentum. And there's some people who can do it, like the Scots, like
Oh yeah,
Marshall and
they run off the mat so quick
and
every
those
time.
guys are crazy. And there's also a guy I played against from Wales by the name of Owen.
Dando, yeah.
He's like a jet fighter coming off the mat. He just
Looks like Braden's lining up for a drive here over on rink 4. And away you go. That was a smoother delivery.
some stuff moving. He cleaned the house again.
Yeah, cleaned house again to the lie too. That's gotta be frustrating for Trevor to be setting up such good heads, and then next thing you know, all your bowls are off the green. see what Carter can do here with his last bowl. If he can add to the count. I think he's a little quick.
Just slid through.
Just slid through. I think it's just the one.
Good for one though.
And if you're interested in getting involved with Bowls Canada, head on over to bowlscanada.com. Under the Get Involved tab, you'll find a webpage called Opportunities. You can find all of the job descriptions for being on the board or being on any of our committees. If you have some time to volunteer, check it out.
What are some of those committees that you refer to?
Well, there's the High Performance Committee, which deals with our national squads. And then there is the National Competitions Committee, so they deal with most of our domestic national championships. So things like making the conditions of play or any anomalies that happen during national championships. There's the Officiating Committee, which obviously deals with umpires and officiating. And then there's Marketing and Promotions, which I believe is chaired by Alex Scott right now. This is sort of a newer committee, looking into how we can better market and promote the sport of bowls in Canada.
So there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, that's for sure. Besides the day-to-day operations.
Yeah, that's right. Never a dull moment. There's definitely a lot more that goes on behind the scenes than I originally thought. But it can certainly be rewarding if you have the time to volunteer. It can really make a difference. As I'm sure everyone who's watching and listening has a strong passion for bowls. I think Owen's a little wide on that one. Good weight though. It's a measure. Carter's gonna walk down after this bowl just to see how close it is. I think he's looking to give his a turn. Not quite. Looks like Owen has a fair bit of gunk on his bowls on the running surface. That looks fairly black. I don't know if that's actually part of the color or if that's just a whole bunch of dirt.
I think it's a whole bunch of dirt. I don't know where it came from, but
It definitely didn't come from the carpet here. I saw last night after the game they were sort of vacuuming the carpet with their little brush sweeper.
they have a machine that kind of brushes the little pebbles off and stuff like that and picks up the... If you were to take a close look at young Burrell's sneakers, they're just covered in the
Little
green stuff off the...
Yeah. It's interesting when I saw them using the little sweeper vacuum cleaner thing last night. It kind of shocked me because that's the exact same one that we used when I worked at the movie theater to clean up all the popcorn off the carpet floor.
I'll remember that if I spill any popcorn on this. Get out the sweeper.
Get out the sweeper. It works well. Carter's walking back now that he's assessed the situation. We'll see what he can do. The umpire said it was a measure, so it must be close. If I were Carter, I probably would have switched hands there to try to push Owen's bowl out and lie for three. But that's not what he's doing. Just looking to roll his in a touch.
He's close.
Very close. Yeah, and that'll do it. Oh, and he got the other one to fall in too. That might be good for two. Owen's humming and hawing about it.
He's talking to himself. Draw, draw, draw. I can read lips.
He'll do just that. Just needs to be around Carter's top bowl. I don't know if he is. So that could be a couple for Carter there.
He tipped up one in and then the other one fell over.
Mm-hmm. It looks like they finally cooled him off a little bit. I'm not sure if talking to his brother was the cause of that, or if maybe the change in pace, if there is any. But after several deadly ends of Owen, it's finally starting to cool off a little bit.
He tried to slow it down a bit.
Mm-hmm. It's currently 12-8 for Trevor over Braden Campbell in the bronze medal match. And for, I think, 3 straight ends, Braden's thrown drives to clear out all of Trevor's bowls, and he was just at the head lining up to see what angle things will go at. So this could be a 4th straight end. And
Yep,
it looks like it.
He's winding it up.
That speaks volumes for how steady Trevor's been drawing. He just missed it all.
So it was 1,
Still,
2.
yeah, it was 2 there.
Yep.
11-4. This year seems to be one of the biggest turnouts for the under-25s, with 13 men all arriving today and tomorrow. As I see a few more flock in. There'll be a pool of 7 and a pool of 6. They duke it out to see who'll be representing Canada at the next World Youth Championships. Down at Broad Beach on the Gold Coast. Probably the most beautiful location I've ever seen.
If you like bowls on the beach, that's the place to go.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's essentially the hot spot for bowls for the next few years, as Commonwealth Games will be there, World Championships will be there. If you care about bowls at all, head on down to Gold Coast would be the place to be. And Owen's picked up the jack, and I think he stayed with it enough to be lying 1. Carter is just grilling her with questions.
Some days it's really easy to tell where the bowls are in the heads.
Mm-hmm.
Other days it's like, well, in particular maybe today because it's sunny at the other end and they are looking into the sun.
The jack is currently sitting in a shade pocket too from the umbrella.
I think Owen was down to 3 seconds on that one. He wants to get going. He's pretty close.
Yeah, with a bull like that, I can see why. He says, hey, I don't need time, I can do this all day. My name's Owen Kirby, and I'm here to draw, draw, draw.
Must be his coach's mantra.
His coach wasn't paying attention. Carter's walking after this.
little crisp going to the back rail.
Owen's chasing this down.
Gonna join him.
Yeah, just covering the back. It's a good place to be.
That.
Quite a few parents and spectators arriving here as we get later on into the day. I'm told that there are going to be quite a few dignitaries here to give their congratulations to the winners after all is said and done. It's a very tight shot to draw off. Need a perfect weight in
Close.
line. He's close.
Whoa,
Rubbed off
fell
of both and just fell the wrong way.
That's a pretty tenuous position there. You think he's gonna? Well, he's gonna play it, I guess.
Yeah, he's still gonna play it. I'd be probably tempted to play my backhand now. But no, he's sticking with his forehand. I would be very concerned about touching that last bowl of Carter's. I think he's got the weight to push it through. Ho 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 ho. Looks like that's probably one for Carter. Owen sprinting down to keep things moving along. Oh, that was two for Carter.
Interesting shot at the time, and then he rolled that other one over. That's why he was playing so aggressively.
11-6 then for Owen. Next door, Trevor still up 13-11 over Braden Campbell. As always, if you want to get in touch with us, reach out to us on Facebook or Twitter. At BCB Official on Facebook, at BCB Bowls on Twitter. Never ceases to amaze me how good some of the bowlers here are. Just because it's the junior championships doesn't mean that it's not a quality championship.
Oh, absolutely. They've played fantastic bowls.
Makes me wish I could still be out there with them.
Well, you're starting to get on in years, Jake, so.
Well, I'm just happy to be done school. Don't have to worry about that anymore. Ever again. Beautiful bowl there from Owen.
You're taking a break there.
Yeah, Owen's last bowl of shot. I think they've both been favoring that side when they play this direction beforehand.
It's pretty.
I can see why.
Yeah, it's pretty good draw side. The other one has a high road and a low road. It's a bit of a Scottish side.
A high road and a low road? Is that
Yep.
the definition of Scottish paving? See if you can replicate that last bowl. He's got great weight. Look at that flop against the bias. Oof.
for a toucher.
Now Owen's got a back bull. Are you going to drive at that?
He's thinking.
He doesn't wind up much for a drive.
Little push.
Oh.
Ooh.
Just barely rubbed that front bull too. Not enough to make any change.
Quick little push, but it looks like it's pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm.
He was only a ball wide or so.
That makes it tough here now, because Carter can easily draw in for 4 now. Not going to though. Decided to cover the tee. I don't know if I would have done that.
Oh. Must be right on top of that ball, so, or on top of the jack if he's thinking about going at it. Playing the backhand.
He's opted to try to draw to cut it down.
Not a bad track.
Might have got rid of 1. Two? 2 will do for Carter. Makes it 11-8. That's a much closer game now. Next door on the bronze medal match, Trevor's up 14-11. Crowd is clearly watching that bronze medal match while Carter sets the mat. He's bringing the mat up a fair pace here, looking to change things up. We'll see if that makes any difference for the two of them. He's clearly thrown a jack long enough. That's getting close to the tee. Do you prefer long ends or short ends, or do you not have a preference?
I work very hard at long ends, but I prefer short. It's either the two extremes is, and I probably prefer some short ends. I shouldn't be giving that away, should I?
Well, I was giving it away yesterday. I got a text from Keith Johnson, the guy who makes our scoring apps, and now he knows how to beat me in a singles match because I gave away all the things I like and don't like.
It all depends on the green.
Yeah, that's fair.
If I'm getting it on the long ones, hey, let's stay there.
I think most people probably do struggle in the long ones.
But
so.
for many people, they don't like they're just not used to playing the ultra short.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on a never ultra short because you want to leave some room to
play with.
To get to play with the jack, which maybe a step and a half.
I think I quite enjoy playing ultra short, specifically in Canada, just because it feels like it's a bit quicker that way. But when you do play on faster greens, and if you go down to the southern hemisphere where the greens are usually a little quicker, then I'm not sure if I still like them as short. Owen's currently lying 1, looking to score after a long deficit of not scoring. Carter's explaining the situation to Brandon to say, hey, here's what's what should I do? What do you think? What's your advice? Have you ever switched hands? Had to play left-handed or right-handed? Opposite hand?
I did. I think I threw one for fun one time and did that. When I couldn't get the line, you had to be way out on the backhand, and you had, and it wasn't pretty. That one of Brandon's kind of sailed through, so Owen would like this one to be a little touch on the one that's sitting shot now. Seems to be just a snitch narrow.
Just inside, but his weight's still in the ballpark. Could be a fine line over there as it tends to dive off.
Carter'd be in good shape if he could chip that one of Owen's out or
I think he'll be playing through
move it a little bit.
at least reaching the head, I would think.
Better line this time. Oh,
Still just through.
slipped through.
Just through. So Owen just needs to draw in another one to make it count, but a crucial fourth bowl.
Yep. Real important. The freebie bonus bowl. Playing the forehand. He's got the weight.
Could be in the ballpark.
Perfect.
Ah, beautiful bowl there, Owen.
Right.
Might have been feeding off of a couple of Carter's misses there. Saw that they left the door open.
That's the level he showed in the semifinal. I mean, you know, I think he's been pretty steady all week.
Scratch me off there.
Now that Owen finally has the mat back, we'll see what he does. Places it right at the tee.
Played short. Well, if he's at the tee, he's okay.
As long as the jack's past the hog line, it should be fine, but whether it's passed or not is up for debate. They're going to center it and call for a measure. Now we get to find out if the hog line's actually in the right position. I
Oh, they
suppose.
are. Absolutely. They've measured them off right to they're 21 meters.
So
If he's on the
if he's on the tee, this should
top,
be fine.
top of the mat's on the tee, he's good.
And they're bringing in Lawn Bulls Nova Scotia president Dale Kidd.
Well, he's got the umpire's got the business end of the tape, so
Yeah, okay. Easy job for Dale to just walk.
yep.
Owen's got some friends back home cheering him on. Caitlin Ryan quoting me, "My name's Owen Kirby, all I do is draw, draw, draw."
doing?
It doesn't go to the middle of the mat, it goes to the back, or it goes to the front end.
Put it at the top
Yeah,
of the
there
mat.
you go. There you go.
Merciful.
Ooh, that is just.
There. See? Perfect. Get up, Till. So the line marker is vindicated.
So it is good to go. And now that we have agreed that it is a legal jack, Owen will lead us off playing a ultra short, minimum length acceptable 21 meters.
That's a bit of a push for that weight.
Although it is technically
That's so short. It's out of our
out of our
out
camera.
of our view.
Yeah.
Make a little adjustment.
Sounds good. Now that we've fixed the cameras up a little bit, you can at least see the jack. Thanks, Terry, for getting out to fix that. You can see that Carter's lying one right now. Can you describe a situation when you'd be playing a jack that's less than 21 meters?
Rebounding jack.
Yeah, I saw that 7 years ago at this event. Cody was playing Mike Patulli and he threw a drive. Jack rebounded. I don't know if it was off a bowl or off the ditch board, but it came back halfway up the green. It was in the under 25 portion, and they had to consult an umpire as to what you do, because if you kill an end then, playing with the respot rule, what happens if it comes forward so it's too short? The official ruling was they put it back at the center spot, because that's back when they played with 3 respots. One on the left, one on the right, one in the middle.
Right, yeah.
And it went to the one in the middle, which is a very rare scenario.
This is a little better.
Well, that's a good pull there from Owen, just squeaking in. That's third shot.
Carter's gonna go have a shot.
Yep.
What would the debate here be?
Do you cover the tee?
What's it gonna cover? There's only one bowl left.
Oh, there's only one bowl left. Well, then in this case, it's just a draw. He might have just been grabbing a drink of water.
Ah, could be.
I was looking at the rink next door just to see that Trevor's up 16-11. He was only a couple points away, but I think Braden scored one here.
What happened there? The bowls all get smashed around, or?
They must have. Focusing intently
There
on
is
this.
something to be said for just getting into your pace, not playing too fast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And,
I think it's still just 2 there. Yeah, I suppose everyone has their own pace to play.
so 13-10. Now we'll probably have to change the camera again.
wait for them to place the mat so I can see where we're even going. And Carter's having a discussion with Brandon there about where should he place the mat. Has he been playing better? Has Owen been playing worse? So we'll have a discussion to see what his coach recommends.
Maybe he'd be tempted after scoring 2 there to play short.
Well, he is bringing it up a bit, so that guarantees it to be a bit short of an end. Owen's so confident in Carter's jack throwing ability, he's already kicked the bowls up, brought them up.
These guys can't spell yips.
Yeah, throwing a jack has never been an issue for me. I don't know why. I don't recall ever really practicing throwing a jack, but it's definitely a skill to be able to throw a jack exactly where you want it.
For sure. Little toucher.
Good bowl there. I know some of the issues with people who can't control their jacks is how they hold it in the first place. If you grip the whole thing, then
Got it out on your fingers. You got 2 fingers. You got it.
yeah, how you hold it can really make a difference on where it's going to go. What the last part of your hand is to touch the jack.
Nice draw there, just behind the jack. Toucher for.
Great
Carter.
shot there from Carter. We'll see if Owen can draw it off. I don't think he's there.
Close.
Just a foot or 2 short. And Braden is still making a bit of a comeback here against Trevor. Scored another one, make it 16-13, I believe. Carter's cheering it on, and that could be a close second.
Nice ball. That's 2.
Believe that's 2.
Just not interested in playing that other hand.
Yeah, just doesn't want to. It seems like he's been a little narrow on that hand for the past few ends. Corey Boudreau's cheering on Carter, saying, "Go Carter, go." The whole flow of this game started off what used to be so quick, with Owen quick on the mat and everything was just flying, and now it's just really slowed right down. And that suits Carter a whole lot more than Owen,
yeah.
I think. Oh, I was mistaken. Next door, Braden picked up more than 1. It's 16-15 for Trevor. So I guess last end, Braden would have got 2 or 3. We'll see if Braden can draw in for a third. I don't think so. Coming up short. Not to be outdone, Mike McNorton's cheering on from California, saying, "Let's go, Owen." So they have a couple of fans watching from around North America.
Owen's taking his pace down a level too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
He used to be sprinting
not,
back,
he's
and
not
now
rushing himself.
he's walking. Round of applause for next door. Trevor just threw a nice draw. And great shot there from Owen.
Yep.
Push
Maybe
back
just-
carded,
just
lie
a
one. So that'll be one for Owen, if I'm not mistaken. Now there's a bit of a sprint again. Gave a bit of a jog.
Yeah, score a point always puts a little hop in your step.
Yeah, yes, it usually does. Well, they're going to take a look at it.
Oh.
Just one. Trevor has an opportunity here to put
10.
that game to bed. Last bowl of the end. If he draws a second shot, that's the game. At the moment, all eyes on him once more.
Close.
He's in the neighborhood.
There you go.
Yep. Trevor Burrell, bronze medal. Braden Campbell, 4th place. Now Owen is within 4 points of sealing this game. He could potentially do this in a single end. We got a question from Coach. What kind of bowls do you prefer, in grip or no grip?
I do have both, but I prefer a grip. Maybe not a full dimple, but a half moon is comfortable.
Interesting, okay. I currently use dimples, but I think I would prefer no grip, to be honest. And what type of bowl?
The no grippers are red line,
Mm-hmm.
and they're on a pretty fine line, so they're good for perfect indoor surfaces and stuff like that. The grips are various hen slights and aces and Taylor SRVs,
Okay.
SRs.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
I currently use a Taylor Spectrum, which has served me well for the past decade or so.
Is that wider?
It's essentially the same as the International, which is sort of in the middle.
Or more of a straight out and then hook? Right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I definitely like having a bit of a wider drawing bowl if I can find them. It drives me bonkers when you play against someone who just plays up the middle time and time again. So Owen is looking to add to his
Healthy
count,
there.
but oof, a little fortuitous on that. Had some extra mustard there.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he's still shot or not.
I think he's still lying one. Shadows might come into effect here as this game goes on. Quite the difference between these two, how Carter's off every single end to talk to his coach at least once. And Owen is just go, go, go.
It's a pace thing. He must feel more comfortable slowing himself down and putting more thought into the shots. When I'm going good, I'm feeling it. I'm playing it. Let's go.
Yep.
You know, you want to keep that
Usually
pace
how
going.
I go too. I guess this could sort of relate to my days of playing basketball. I'm usually, when I'm in the flow and quick to make shots, but if I have more than a couple seconds to make a shot, chances are I don't make it.
Yep.
If I spend too much time thinking about it, forget about it.
He doesn't like it.
Crashing on his front too, I think. Yep. So I believe that's another one for Owen, which would give him
Yep. He's
15.
reaching for the 5.
Scorer's reaching for that 5 to make it just that much closer for Mr. Kirby. Yep.
15-10.
At the start of this game, you were predicting that Owen has a bit more of a steady draw, whereas Carter was more of a fourth bowl conversion type player. To start the game, that was certainly the case.
The other thing about the artificial is the variance between long and short, as far as effort goes in the delivery, is not as great as on a 11-second grass green.
Mm-hmm.
You know, throwing it 100 feet as opposed to throwing it, you know, or 110 feet as opposed to throwing it. You know, so
The difference
there's
between the two.
There's more changes, more strategy, I think, you know, that you can do lengthwise.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
It's always that danger in making changes to the length that you're not going to be able to meet the test yourself,
Yep.
let alone.
I'm sure that might be why many players are hesitant to bring the mat up, because if you bring the mat up and you throw your first ball in the ditch, well, that's just a wasted opportunity.
Yeah.
I tend to do that quite a lot, though, to bring the mat up just to see if your weight is actually good, if you know your weight control yet. There seems to be
It's a nice draw there.
a notion across Canada, as I've been getting a few of these emails lately, that the first end, the mat needs to be exactly at the 6-foot mark.
Not at all.
That is not the case. It says it needs to be at least 2 meters from the ditch, I believe is
Yep.
the actual wording. So it's not exactly 6 feet,
At least.
whatever
Yeah. At
whatever the
least.
2 meter is.
At any time.
Yeah.
So
Well, some people seem to have confused that with it must be 2 meters, but no, it must be at
No.
least.
no, I did that in the tournament when the rule changed the first end, and I took the jack and I walked it up to the jack line, and the person I was playing said, "You can't do that." I said, "Oh yes, I can."
Oh, yes, I can.
And they had never been on that part of the green before, so
Mm-hmm.
it was.
There's a little bit of pace to this ball from Owen here, as Carter just put 2 beauties together.
Just sliding
Just
off.
sliding through. There's a big opportunity here for Carter to.
Now, do you just play the draw there, or do you want to take it back another? I guess he can't make 4 to this. I don't.
No,
think,
I don't think so.
with the position of the
I
jack
would-
right now.
Just be looking to draw 3. Make it 15-13 if you're successful, which is a lot better than the current score, 15-10.
Well, he's gonna have a chat about it. I drink. How much
Just
water's he
having
got
a
in that bottle?
think he's a little quick on this, to be honest. Fortuitous there.
Worked out very well.
Worked out well. It's 15-13 now. As this is the final game for today, and the final game on the green, all eyes on them. I think the nerves are kicking in for any of them.
I think Owen's probably feeling a little disappointed that he's. I think that the pace is. It's not the way he wants to play. He likes to play, so you have to get that settled in your mind that he's going to do this. So find something else to put your concentration on instead of your frustrations because you're not on the mat playing. So he's got to maybe think through his own strategy and concentrate on his own delivery and his finer points and put it away.
Unless you've been in this situation before, not very often will you be playing in front of a crowd like this. I don't know how many people are here. 50, 70, 80?
Oh yeah, I'd say at least that. Over 100.
Yeah. Pretty good opening ball.
That's a good spot.
I've played against players before who once they realize that all eyes are on them, their hands just start to shake and they just get real nervous and can't bowl worth a dime anymore. But then there are also others who absolutely thrive under this kind of pressure and love to put on a good show. Carter might be one of those. That was a great bowl there.
Yeah, that was very nice. It was the ball he needed there at that time.
Owen is just through.
Just a hair.
Carter's drawn another there. Currently lies at least 2. Owen's looking to cut it down, but I think he's sailing through again.
Ooh.
Oh, just kissed the jack on his way by.
Man. He gets another quarter of an inch of that and he's got a shot.
An hour and 40 minutes or so this game's been going on for. Not that there is any sort of time limit for finals. Makes me wonder what they talk about every time they're back there. Because not a whole lot has changed.
Well, the way things are shaped up with the back bowls, I think he's got to go for protection. 'Cause one dead-eye shot by Owen and the game would be over.
That is true. That would be going for glory if Owen drove the
Going to
jack
cover
back.
the back
Yeah,
on that side.
That's
Wise
a
choice.
smart play.
Yep. Mistake I made the other night cost me a game. See how it could go out and it went out. So.
Owen switched hands here. I don't think he's
Well,
potentially second.
Shot of that? He almost got inside that ball.
Yeah, almost. Would have been a nice backdoor shot. Kicked out one, looking at a second. And they're asking for the measure. I never like to see a blowout in a final, and this is certainly anything but.
No, it really tightened up. Obviously just one.
Yep. Can't quite reach far enough to make it touch, but touch it does.
So 15-14.
15-14. Anybody's game in any given end.
Now, this is the end where you can't be careless. You think you got that one, you're back to even, and you relax a little bit. All of a sudden, you're just off.
What's the best club you've ever played at? Or your favorite club, I guess?
Favorite club? I'd have to say Laguna Beach.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, it's heaven.
That's the one down in California, right?
Yep, absolutely heaven. Yeah, two greens together, nice little clubhouse, overlooking the Pacific Ocean. We were playing in a tournament. It was a weekend, and there was hot air balloons going by. There was guys with fans on their back flying through the air. There was boaters and surfers and rollerbladers. It was like a circus, the whole thing, and absolutely magnificent.
Carter's first bowl seemed to be about 5-6 feet through, and Owen's locked one in within a foot.
Well, and with the sun going down a bit, it's not as hot as it was,
Mm-hmm.
so the green will cool off a bit, and it gets a little quicker.
And those long shadows are starting to creep into the green here now that we're playing closer.
See,
to the back.
those balls are just running. Now, it's one.
Owen's
Chance
starting
to
to get
draw
that
for
look in his
two.
eye, the way he's following bowls. I think he's starting to get the feel back.
He's getting into the danger zone. He's got two there.
Carter's looking to draw around Owen's shot.
A little quick
Hoping
again.
it'll turn, but not quite. Just too quick. He's set up with some position in the back. If I was Owen right now, would you be drawing another or get in position?
I would draw just behind the jack with this one. And he's put the game on the table.
He's put the pressure on.
And Carter's got one left. So they've been playing that hand all the time. I don't know if you can see much of the jack there, or come in amongst those two at least to cut him down.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have a
There's
chat
chance for
about
a
this.
big powwow on this one.
Yeah, yeah.
This one you can talk about. From my eye, I would like the backhand into those.
I would too. I would play the backhand, and that way you
You know,
can.
push, kind of a push follow. You got a
Yeah.
wall to come against. You don't have to be so absolute to draw the jack there. You have to be absolutely spot on perfect, and he's been 3 feet
I agree. I would.
short there, and 5 or 6 long. It's a tough shot. Here it comes. Collect himself. Big shot.
Something on his hands, or his hands are getting a little sweaty, maybe. Now that the game's on the line, he's still playing his forehand.
Just trying to get it to stop. He doesn't like it.
I don't think so. I think he's right on through.
And
That
there's your
could be
new
the
champion.
game. That's the game. Owen Kirby is the junior champion for 2017. Congrats, Owen. Good job, Carter, on silver medal. And that'll do it for us here. We'll pick back up again for the under 25s. That'll be Saturday morning. Stay tuned to our Facebook and Twitter accounts. We'll actually have a set schedule, so we should be able to tell you times and specific players. Thanks for commentating with me, Terry.
Thank you very much. A pleasure, Jake. Hope everyone enjoyed it.
That's it for us here. We'll see you all on Saturday.